technology partnership, because we are on Azure, we have trained 40,000 plus sales rep from Microsoft globally. And today, if you go to the Microsoft Azure Marketplace, you search for CCaaS, the #1 preferred platform is Avaya. And you will see that by end of this year, they will start co-selling with us. So we are expanding our go-to-market. We add more capabilities. We understand when you shift to a new platform, the first thing that the customer will block you in is, but if I move, do I lose any of the capabilities that I have on-premise? And that's common. We are not launching Avaya cloud platforms because we just want to give another release of what they have on-premise. If you look at the Avaya One Cloud Experience platform, it's having more of the innovative, modern use cases than just the traditional features. And that's your selling point. It's not trying to have an as-is like of what they have, but let me tell you what more can we do. The context awareness use case that you have seen yesterday, you cannot achieve that with the traditional product. How can you track a customer journey from the moment that you land on a website all the way until they run their survey, connected together, if you don't have a single unified platform? So every customer today, they have a journey with Avaya. And our focus in the next 6 to 12 months, as we grow also our market share into our competitive install base or the greenfield, we have all to have a strategy how we're going to move our install base and customers to innovate with us and you on the new platform. When we categorize these innovation use cases, specifically with CPaaS, we have launched 3 categories that we're going to train you around and your teams to be able to sell these innovation use cases on top of the premise or as part of the public cloud. The first part is the application that Avaya is producing out of the box. All these applications, cloud notification, the Avaya conversational AI, SMS, SIP trunks, cloud IVR, they are available in the North American market. We started into the European market 6 months ago, expanding to most of Europe. We are launching APAC by the end of this year. It's a matter of time. But you need to start getting on board. It takes time to train people who were used just on deployment and installation. To shift to this is a complete mindset. So it's not a matter of, is the product available here or there? It's a matter of, are you ready when the product is available in your region? Because you cannot spend 6 months after we launch to try to learn and train your resources around these platforms. Every time we move to subscription with the customer needs to see all this application on the right side. It has to be in your tick box. Then you have the Avaya Services team. As Nadal said, we are going through digital transformation. Avaya Services team are today fully on board with these services. And they have developed their own applications. And they are added it as an add-on service to differentiate us and also to provide us the competitive edge needed. Then you have the full stack of all the features where you can start building your business model around our cloud. What is your sweet spot? Are you going to focus on AI, conversational AI, analytics AI? You have the bot connector, which you can use to connect in any Avaya product on-premise or Avaya cloud. Are you more into carrier services? You have bring your own carrier. You can plug in your applications and you can start bundling it and selling it with us. And so on and so on. This capability is how you're going to define how you transform and modernize also your business with Avaya. It's the future of where Avaya is going to be heading. The team is going to take you in the next couple of hours through more and more of the use cases. But I want to say that every time we offer a solution, like for example the AI or the conversational AI, People will come and say, yes, everyone has that. As Fadi said, it's now becoming a very crowded domain. But always don't overlook the value of the company that can offer this solution when it is combined with other capabilities. When you put AI over MPaaS, when you put AI with our networking and CPaaS SIP trunks, when you put it on top of our IVRs, on our digital channels, the quality goes up. Because we did not just focus on AI. We focused on a full stack platform that has quality in every level of its capability. So that's how customers measure the use case that you build. That yes, it might be the strongest AI vendor, another one might be the strongest digital, another one might be strong in voice, but to stitch all of them together, it is not necessarily you're going to end up with the performance you expected. In Avaya, this is what we care for. That when you build the use cases and stitch it together, this is where you're going to see the value. It is not another product. It's a complete different strategy that Avaya is going to move on for the future. And when you look at the verticals that we have built around our CPaaS and One Cloud Experience platform, you will see that one of the beauty about it is that you can build an application once. And as I said, when you build, you are now the product owner, not Avaya. That's the difference. That's what we call, I just mentioned that, the innovation ecosystem. The value innovation, which is outcome-driven innovation. So when you sell this product, based on simple personalization, you can make it fit in healthcare, in government, education. So you don't need to keep building like in the old days every time you have a new implementation, a new customer. You build once with Avaya, and early next year we're going to launch our marketplace. And on top of our marketplace, you will be able to post your applications. Others can use it. You can keep reselling it, and so on and so on. So the ecosystem of the use cases and the reselling option is tremendous. We have focused also, when we built that in the last 2 years, that we build the right ecosystem of partnership, specifically technology partnership, because we know that any of these players will exist in most of our accounts. And if we don't have a play with them, if we don't learn how to coexist, we will not be able to be in a position to actually give our customer the needed solution. We talked about the launch of Microsoft Azure Marketplace for CCaaS. Microsoft integration with Teams, that's coming by end of this year, into the contact center, not just UC. We had the UC already. So you will be able to use Teams as a contact center agent and integrating the front office and the back office. We launched our BYOT solution with Salesforce. It's available in the North America and coming now global, so that we can have the CRM go-to-market strategy. It's already on the App Exchange. You've seen the relation with RingCentral. When we built our UCaaS strategy with RingCentral was to accelerate our go-to-market, is to become a cloud company quickly. Because this platform is not just about a technology transformation in Avaya. Everything around this platform has evolved. It's the way that Avaya IT works, the way we do billing, the way we do our cloud ops. Everything in Avaya today has moved to a new operation level to meet this new business model. And RingCentral is part of this journey. We launched back actually last month, October, the CCaaS integration with ACO. It's available on Experience Avaya demo. You can go online and see it. They are bundled. You can go out there now in the market, specifically in the European country and where we have ACO. You will be able to sell it with ACO. If you are into non-ACO countries, you will be able to see the integration with Spaces, the integration with Aura on-premise, which is the hybrid deployment we are bringing also this year. This bundling capabilities, you can only do it when you are working with a technology vendor who actually manage the full communication stack. This is Avaya. This is our product portfolio. This is where we're going to go to the market together. And if you look at each one of these segments and the prediction of the market share, the Avaya, I would say the CCaaS in general, is a $25 billion business in the next 4 years. CPaaS above the $30 billion. The collaboration above, again, the $20 billion. And a lot of players are trying to win these segments. But we in Avaya, we know that if you combine this together, you multiply this CAGR by 3. And this is the market that we're going to take. We're going to work with you. You are our partners. We're going to be successful with you. And thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks, Ahmed. Okay, thank you, Ahmed. So I'm going to now introduce Rob to talk about the immersive employee experience. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on day 2. So I'm going to talk to you about the immersive employee experience, and Ahmed's talked about this a bit already, about how we're a cloud-first company, and we're jumping ahead. We're already started, no, sorry. We're a cloud-first company, but what does that mean? There are different types of cloud, public cloud, private cloud, and there are different iterations of that, hybrid as well. Not everybody's ready to move to public cloud straight away. And Avaya's, I suppose, in the unique position of being able to deliver each of those types of cloud to you today. Starting with subscription, moving on to public cloud, and then ultimately on to, moving on to private cloud, and ultimately on to public cloud as well. So there's no one size that fits all. And Avaya is ready to support you and your customers moving to the type that's ready for them. There's a few of this underlying technology trends here that we're going to help you to move along to the cloud. And one of those is that there's the new work nucleus. So historically, we worked from the office. The teams that we worked with were based in the same office as us. And that's was all good up, I suppose, until the pandemic. And then the pandemic, suddenly we were all dispersed. The teams that we need to work with were not available to us immediately. And we found out that we needed to communicate and be fully effective wherever we are. Now, it's no longer okay to be just out of the office and not fully capable. We need tools that support us to work wherever we are. So in the new nucleus, whether you're in the office or working from your home office or working from a customer site, you need the full range of capabilities available to you. So you're not effectively going to be purchasing one tool set or one version that it's static and limited to that capacity, but you need something that's going to be scalable and give you that capability from day one. In fact, McKinsey have a statistic here that says 82% of customers looking to buy on-premise technology are actually looking for a subscription. They want the capability to subscribe at the level of the users they have today and be able to add users at any point and be able to consume the full amount of capabilities that the cloud has available to them. So not just buying a static version that ages over time, but you buy a piece of technology and it stays evergreen. It's able to be updated. It's a bit like the way we purchased music in the past, or music and films, in fact. We used to buy CDs, we used to buy DVDs when we wanted to watch a film. And if we looked at our library was that one shelf. We want to go home and watch a movie, we had what was available to us. And very, very quickly, the choice was very limited. Then we came to subscription in terms of music and films, suddenly with a far greater library available to us. And I guess we don't look back. When was the last time you bought a CD? So I guess that's the same with subscription. One cloud gives you the ability to consume today the full range of the full suite of the capabilities and expand whenever you're ready. So I mentioned just before here about that nucleus, how that paradigm has shifted. We were based in the office. Some organizations are returning to that. but we're not going to give up that capability to be able to work in any given location. As I say, we don't just transfer our phone now when we're working from home and we're now on a mobile number. We have a reduced capability because we're outside the office, but we need the capability to be fully functional and also in different time zones, so we're fully productive wherever we are. I mean, look at this team we have today. We're all from different time zones. We can all progress projects regardless of the fact that we don't work in the same location most of the time. So how's Avaya different in terms of the cloud? If we look at the way that most organizations are starting today or starting on their cloud journey is that they're on-premise. They have potentially perpetual licenses. And are they all ready to move to public cloud? Probably not all of them straight away. For many, the easiest thing to move forward to would be subscription. That gives them the commercial benefit of simply taking the number of users that they want and still having the entire platform under their control. So the data is under their control, the integration points, where it's hosted, but they're already on that journey of moving towards the cloud. The next level is manage. So you and us together can take over the management of the customer's platform. So take away from them the responsibility to keep it up to date, to keep it patched, and to keep the data secure. Management's kind of that next level on the cloud journey. And then beyond that, we have the public cloud and the private cloud, where we also take care of the platform that this runs on as well, and the data security, the physical security as well that goes with that. And we can add into this hybrid cloud as well. Ahmed mentioned how Avaya Spaces can complement all of your existing communication technologies. So whether you have Avaya Aura, Avaya IP Office, you can bring in public-based collaboration into your existing communications and get some of that new nucleus way of working straight away. So you've seen by now that with Avaya Aura, we've mentioned that from next month, we're moving to subscription only with Avaya Aura. And so this enables our customers to start consuming straight away that first benefit, at least, of cloud, of that subscription part of that flexibility. No longer do they have to buy a system and then predict what their growth will be over the next 5 or 10 years, and then hope that the functionality is going to be sufficient for that entire period of time. No, they can subscribe at the level of the users they have today, and then consume the features they need, and if there are more capabilities they want, they can simply turn them on. But what else is coming with this release? Well, I guess the first one to talk about is that ability to enable the remote workforce, and the remote agents, in fact, now as well. So as we've seen, we need to have that capability for everybody being fully productive where they are, not just transferring a phone, but having my full business identity available to me wherever I am. So those virtual workers, virtual agents there are absolutely key. The next one is that regulatory compliance and data privacy requirements. This is something that's changed massively over the last few years, and it's not just enabled by policies. The technology needs to be updated to take advantage of that as well. So that's absolutely critical to the underlying element as well. Once you move to subscription, you've got the ability to easily expand. Adding additional server licenses are included within the subscription. So if you need to add a new location, if you need to add new capabilities, they can simply just be deployed. You don't need to go back, thankfully, for new capital expenditure budget. You just need to think about whether you need new users. And the last one, and not to be forgotten here, is maintaining support. For many verticals, for many industries, supportability of the platform is absolutely key. As we know, security is a very fast-moving track, and many organizations have security scans now that they have to comply with. And so having a supported platform is absolutely paramount. So what are we doing with the Aura platform to enable that movement towards the cloud? There's this concept of DevOps, of a kind of a faster way of updating platforms to bring new innovation to the customer and fixes as well to the customer at a faster pace but also a predictable one as well. And that's feedback that we've taken very much from the customers too. And this is not a new thing for Avaya. Since December 2020, we really moved towards this concept of security-only fixes. And we deliver those every 2 months. So this de-risks the process of upgrading. All that's inside those are security updates. So if a customer wants to put the latest platform and then ensure they're proactively secured, they can just keep deploying just those security-only fixes every 2 months. They know when they're going to come. And this is standard in the industry now. Think about your smartphone, think about your PC, think about your Windows servers. Every single month, they're updated to be kept secure. You need to stay ahead of this. But we've done the same thing with service updates as well. So since February this year, we've been issuing these service-only packs, and they're going to come out on a 4-month cadence as well. So security updates, service updates on a fixed interval, you know when they're going to happen. And we've also moved to a fixed schedule of innovation updates. So what we used to call feature releases in the past. But feature releases were something that could happen at different times. They were difficult to plan for. So here we've announced they're going to happen at the last quarter of every calendar year. So obviously the Aura platform release we're talking about now is coming in this quarter, in December next month. But then there will be one in the last quarter of next year and going forwards. So if our customers want to upgrade their platform to the next version, they know when that's going to occur. Typically, that's going to be a 12 to 24-month cycle. So when we would recommend upgrading, we would recommend that you apply the security and service packs when they become available and plan for innovation updates every 1 to 2 years, ideally. But what's in it for you partners? Why, the more updates? Okay, we're de-risking some of those updates. That's a good thing. But what's in it for us? This is a professional services opportunity. So historically, upgrades have been treated as a point-in-time professional services opportunity. There's a new version available, we deploy it. A few years later, we go and try and upgrade the customer again. What we've done with this is because we now have a predictable cycle, you can say to the customer, we're going to upgrade your platform, but we're also going to put another line item on that quote that says, we will proactively dial into your system every quarter and update you to the latest service pack, the latest security pack. So you are proactively protected against any of these issues. And now you become part of the customer's security value operation. So you are proactively delivering them that. So that's one part of that. And that is on top of the financial benefits that Fadi mentioned in his presentation yesterday. So with subscription, it's a pay-per-use model, and that's the strongest benefit of it. But it also gives you that business agility. Because you have the ability to only subscribe at the level you need, if you need to expand, or if you contract in the future, you have the ability to just change that subscription level. No longer do you have to think, what's the life cycle of this investment? Could I expand in the next 5 years? Right, by the maximum possible capacity. And to that point, something that's unique with our subscription over what our perpetual offered was the concept of overage, or burst, as I like to refer to it. So let's take an organization that typically has on average 1,000 users, for example. They can simply subscribe at 1,000 users. Maybe some months of the year they have 900. Other months of the year in seasonal peaks, they have 1,100. Because subscription includes this 20% additional user licenses, they can burst all the way up to 1,200 users. Of course, if they start sustaining that number of users, they can increase that. But it means that you don't have to over-provision a system anymore. You don't have to think, well, in 5 years, could I go to 1,500 users? That's the number of licenses I would have to buy in a perpetual motion. With subscription, we give you more. It also gives you the right to use our current software all of the time. So it's not just when you deploy, it's not just when you upgrade, it's evergreen. You have the entitlement to run the latest version. So it's not R6 anymore, it's not R7. When you upgrade to Aura platform and you move to subscription, you then have the entitlement to run the latest software version all the time. So you're taking away that fear that the upgrades that historically could have been associated with. And also our devices are available as subscription as well. So if you want to update the technology that you use within your offices and at home, but again, you don't want to assign capital expenditure to that. That's something that could be made available on subscription as well. So moving into the private cloud, you have the choice and the flexibility to control your data, to control your integration points, and also to maintain your SIP trunks and your discounts that you've negotiated with your carriers for those periods of time. So you have all the benefits of private cloud available to you, including unique security and compliance capabilities. Even with public clouds today, there are still sometimes in certain countries that can't be delivered or certain verticals that can't be served via the public cloud. So private cloud's still got that unique capability that's not there with public. So looking at between public and private, they both have their advantages and their disadvantages. Again, there's no one size that fits all, and Avaya can help you with both of those. And if you look at the public cloud, it can be the most cost-effective. And that's typically achieved by the fact that it's a template-based configuration. It can be feature-rich, but the feature options are limited and potentially controlled. But the scale can be unlimited. You can move from 1 to 1,000 to 100,000 and beyond very easily with a system like that. Private cloud, however, has its benefits too. It gives you more control as a customer. It's more flexible in terms of what you integrate with it. And as I mentioned, it has some unique security aspects with it. You have control of the data, and it's a dedicated instance. You can bring your own SIP capability into it. But what's common between both types of these clouds is that you only pay for what you use versus capital expenditure. This is another type of subscription fundamentally. You're paying for the service that you consume. Ahmed was talking about spaces and how that can help you with that transformation. I also talked about this new work nucleus as well. Spaces calling adds this ability for those remote users to call from their browser without deploying any software. So you think about that employee that's working from home for the first time, maybe even using their own device. No longer do we have to deploy software on their PC to enable them to call. With Spaces calling, you can call directly from your browser using your existing Avaya provided telephone number, your Avaya Aura or your Avaya IP Office telephone number. So you have the dial pad that comes up, you can dial an ad hoc number, or you can dial from your colleagues directly from the address book displayed on the screen there. So that's directly from the browser that's available, from the Chrome browser that's available on everybody's PC. No deployment of any app is required. Of course, if you have Avaya Workplace already deployed, you can choose to use that, but it's not required. And that makes getting this out to your workforce that much easier. Spaces calling also enables this two-party video calling as well. So very much like an Apple FaceTime or Google Duo experience that you can do this two-party video calling. And this Spaces calling is included within our subscription. It's just some configuration items fundamentally to be enabled. In terms of our mid-market, we have an excellent public cloud UCaaS offer called Avaya Cloud Office, and that's available in 10 countries today. It's going to be extended in Q2. We're looking to expand this into Switzerland, Finland, and Singapore as well. So we're expanding that offer. So where Avaya Cloud Office public UCaaS is available, that's an offer. We also have IP Office and Spaces as an alternative if that's required. And we can also provide devices as a subscription offer alongside that, as well as a CCaaS solution coming soon. But we still have IP Office, and now we're available as a subscription as well. Alongside Spaces, we're working with IP Office and devices as a subscription and cloud contact center options. So wherever your customer is, whatever their existing platform is, and how they want to get to the cloud, there's an option there for them. So just in terms of just quick updates on IP Office is now on a 6-month innovation update. If you look at the last release, we came up with Feature Pack 1 here. We just added Spaces calling into the IP Office platform. With a workplace client, we added conference controls. For our subscription IP Office customers, we added a brand new management console, web-based management console, only available to our subscription users of IP Office. And we supported all of our latest endpoints, the Vantage 3 the J199 and the B199.